All right. Check one, check two. This is it. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour with your host, me, Rob Cantrell, coming back again and again. Will we ever win? I don't think that's the question at hand, but we're here another day on this land. I am broadcasting from Brooklyn, New York. I got a great cup of chai. I got a chai latte, an oat-milk chai latte. I'm going fancy for Friday. We're taping on Friday. Sometimes I do Thursday. Sometimes I do Friday. You know, this whole podcast is a very organic, from the heart, from my heart and from my lungs, right to you guys. But I got a great strain. It's a good day. I was gonna say great, but it hasn't gotten super warm, but it was been super cold. And then the sun came out, and everybody's like, "Yeah, all right, yeah." Hit me 2 times. Don't. Da-da-da, pop. Yeah. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. This is it. I'm your host, Rob Cantrell. I have a nice cup of coffee. I have some nice herb here from my one hitter, my glass. I mean, it's not even it's a chillum, but it's got a wooden stem. It's probably the best chillum. I don't know. I don't like falling in love with paraphernalia because they eventually have to go. But we all have to go. And letting go is a part of, I believe, the cannabis experience. And kicking back and relaxing, but also using it to work out, using it to clean. I like to use it with cleaning lately and to do a little bit of working out. I'm drinking chai. Dudes, it's been a whole week. I haven't had 1 cup of coffee. I'll come back to the coffee, but I got some health things to address. It seems like I had a little bit of high cholesterol, not enough. I went to the doctor. I was complaining about how high those strains are. I think it's because I had too much cholesterol. I'm getting at that age. That's the type of shit you worry about. But I do know like 1 billion Americans are on cholesterol medicine just because the crazy diet out there. But they just said, switch up my diet. You know what it is? I just really been hammering pepperoni on Fridays. My family, we just it's pepperoni, it's pizza night. And I just doubled down. And for the last like whole time we've been in quarantine, every week I can probably measure out the pepperoni grease into maybe like 3 individual shot glasses of super juice that I've been shooting into my bloodstream, and I could feel that shit eventually. I think it just all added up. And then what I learned was espressos and French press. I got a great doctor. He broke everything down. I told him my deal. He actually, if he's listening to the podcast, he said he might listen. But he just broke it down like, yo, you can't drink French press and you can't drink espressos. The sediment in those will bring up your cholesterol. You got to go through a paper filter. That's what he recommended. So I'm going to get a Chemex. I threw out all my French presses. This is a big deal in the Cannabis Coffee Hour. For the last 2.5 years, I've been drinking every week, every day, like so many French presses. But I switched to green tea. I always like green tea. I like things that enhance. And I think coffee enhances it. I'm going to go back to coffee. I'm just going to clean it out right now. Like I've been doing, they said Mediterranean diet, which I've always liked. I had a nice piece of swordfish. It just means eating fish like twice a week. So I had a nice piece of swordfish. I've been doing avocado toast with salmon. I love salmon. Like everything that my body's been fiending is what my doctor told me I need. And I do think cannabis brings down your blood pressure. And I do think if you use it wisely and the right strains and educate yourself, I'm lucky that I've been doing comedy and puffing hard for enjoying cannabis this whole time. I mean, I always kind of used it as kind of a way to back off from alcohol and hard drugs, and also a way to just like deal with the stress and the anxiety and just to put myself to sleep. When you're out on that road, living your dream, trying to figure out what it all means. Sometimes hitting some herb, going to bed makes you feel good. Sometimes it stresses you out. Some people have anxiety with it. Some people it adds anxiety. I think it does a little bit. I think a lot of it is because I just read Leafly on this strain I got. Like I do think you just gotta learn how to pull back and figure it out. Like I just was going so hard in the paint with pepperoni and French presses. My cholesterol went up. But now I think I have to do a little bit more exercise. So I've been doing that. Mostly just going for hardcore walks. Like after this podcast, I'll go for just like, dude, I'm getting 10,000 steps. I'm getting 11,000 bombers, and I'm not even looking at my phone. I'm doing it I'm trying to be in the moment. Been meditating, been stretching, keeping that all up. So I'm actually feeling a lot better than I've felt the last probably few months. So I'm so glad I went to the doctor and kind of like really looked at myself. And that's what it seems that like what I'm doing now. I think April's going to wide open. I'm just trying to take care of all the busy work before 420, which I got a great show, Dynamo Kingdom. Huge, cool live stream. I'm doing it with like the dude Shockwave, who was in like a improv rap group with Lin-Manuel, and they had a freestyle Love Supreme. It was right before he went off and did Hamilton. But I remember those guys performing around like kind of the stand-up circuit, kind of the sketch circuit. So he's a cool, probably the most mellow cat I've ever met. And all he does is beatbox, barely talks. Super chill. He talks, but I do think people that talk less are smarter. And so I think he's a really smart cat. He doesn't talk that much and all he does is beatbox, and he's always funny and funky. So I'm excited. I'm going to be doing it with him. Joyelle Nicole, who has been on this show twice. She's super funny. She just had a special on Peacock. Marina Franklin, Seth Herzog, who does the warm up for Marina Franklin's been on the Chappelle Show and just a great stand-up in New York, and also has her own special that's out there. She tours like Conan O'Brien. Like I could talk about all these guys. I'm just doing a really cool hip show, man. I'm excited about it. Look it up. You can live stream it if you're in Alaska, Brazil, or Portugal. Or if you're Portuguese, you could check it out from wherever you're at, man. The times are changing. The wind is blowing. Dust in the wind, fire in the sky. So this is a strain called Runtz, and it's a hybrid. It comes from cookies and something else, and I think sour diesel or something like that. Like it's a really popular strain, super euphoric, very talkative, as you can tell. I already had a little bit, but I grounded it really good. And so I got just a nice stash of great Runtz, which is a candy, but it's also a weed strain. So I got that, and then I also have this. Oh man, I have to tell you, and chai. What I've learned: black tea and chai tea bring down your cholesterol. If you didn't know that, there's one to grow on. So I've been fucking up some chai. Now this stuff is expensive. I like it when they do the liquid chai. Like sometimes they have like these bags of chai tea. They ain't the real you need the like the syrup. But supposedly chai and black tea bring your cholesterol down, like it brings your blood pressure down. It's all about chilling out. Everything in health is like about chilling out, but you also need life to be hard in order to like grow as an individual. And it's always complex and always going. And that's what, meditating has been. I've been a little bit spotty. I haven't been so super disciplined. Like I did it high. I split it up maybe 10 minutes. I did it 18 minutes instead of 20. But I'm getting back on it. But one of the things I'm learning is just to keep at it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And some of the bigger like breakthroughs that I've been having with meditation is just bringing, and it's the back to the simplest one. And I think the core and root of everything is just bringing it back on the one, just bringing it back to this moment, that breath I just took in, that herb smoke I just took out. Just bringing it back to what I've been learning is just like whenever my mind starts to wander, and it's, man, the amount of stimuli that's out there, the amount of media and stimuli, like you literally have a smorgasbord of anything you want to think about, whether it's politics, World War III, comedy, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, guns, violence. It's all out there on the internet for you to absorb. But what I'm learning now is just like to filter a lot of stuff out and bring it back to the moment, because that's really what only thing you got. And then just work on what you've built up from there. And that's the cool thing about being older is like, you've done enough already that you're already where you're at. So you might as well enjoy that and have some more. I'm just chugging down. That's the only thing about this chai tea. It's a latte, but it's the oat milk. I don't want to mess with too many lattes or too much milk. Milk is a weird thing. The whole cow, like I'm not full vegan, and I'd never want to project what I'm doing onto anybody else. Like I just think what I do is fits with my vibe. Like I always knew I liked olives, and the doctor was like, you need to eat more olives. I always loved olive oil, anything olive oil, garlic, chopped garlic, olive oil. God, I just had like that with some chopped up zucchini the other day, and that was like my lunch. I've actually think my gut's gotten bigger from eating all this leafy green, because I'm buying like avocados, I'm buying like pounds of cashews, and I'm like, oh, this will last for a week. And then I just like hammer out like between 3 and 5 o'clock. I'm just downing like a pound of cashews. Then the next day, I'm sitting in the bathroom like I'm Thor. That's to drop the hammer. But it has been flowing. Everything's been flowing good because I'm getting this like organic salad. I've been eating beets. Anything with balsamic vinaigrette, man. It's just that vinegar, that oil is just so good. Well, I'm sorry if you're picking up that ring, everybody. Somebody's texting me some shit, and I need to make sure the notifications are off. But I'm not sure if it's piping through the podcast or not. I'm hearing it in my earphones. But yeah, and the other one is Mueslic. I don't know if anybody's. I went full board oatmeal. I've been getting steel cut oatmeal. Takes like 25 minutes to make in the morning. Like the Instamatic oatmeal's dope, but this stuff is like full on like nature grains. And supposedly better, it's just like super nutrients. And you get that, you eat that, with some blueberries and some I've been eating blackberries, getting into blackberries, those seeds in there. I got some flaxseed. I've been going. I mean, I think I've like within a week, I dropped like a lot of shit and then picked up a couple new angles. Are you guys all doing that? I think that's just life. Um, yes, Dynamo Kingdom, the live stream is going to be a trip. That show is going to be very cool. Speaking of really cool shows, I did a show. Shout out to my friend Rufat, who does a show, comedian. He runs a show at Scorpion Records, which is on like the between Brooklyn and Queens, like this little record store. And they had a show, and I got to do a set there and started late, and I went on first, which was nice. The crowd was great. I had a great set. It was fun. I did a few minutes and I got some new material out of it. So I'm feeling good about my stand up. And I'm not even trying to do a lot of sets, and I'm still doing a lot of sets. I'm still feeling confident. And a lot of that has to do with doing this podcast and, just sticking with it weekly, whether I have a guest or not. I had a couple guests, but we've been in and out of life right now. I just think when April comes around, doing Zoom, it's hard to track somebody down. I mean, I feel bad asking people to do Zoom right now because everybody's been doing so many Zooms, but I don't mind zooming it up now and then. But I can't wait till like the weather. I just think is just like 2 weeks out. And I still rock my mask when I go out. I just haven't caught the funk, and I just don't want the funk. But if the funk comes, I've been just going for mad walks. Excited for this trip to Denver. Try out some more, look for, some really good organic outdoor grown cannabis. Have some more chai lattes. Love to do some more skiing. Well, now skiing's done. But mountain biking, I like it, but still enough gear. Casual walking, that should be a Olympic sport. Like this dude has kind of a coat on. He's going off. He's going to walk for an hour. He's going to get a coffee. He's going to sit in the park for a minute, and then he's going to walk home. He stared at 3 trees, talked to a bird, and got in a fight with a fire hydrant. Parks are dope. The whole idea of like the city being like, okay, we get it. This place is just way too much concrete, man. There's just too many 7-Elevens around here. We need a place where it's just trees and grass. But the only thing is the park's getting so popular that it's just like dog crazy. And I love dogs, but sometimes I'm walking through and it's like every dog owner is out there. Like if it's like super prime time, everybody with a dog is going to break out and go out there and take their dog for a walk, which I don't mind. But just pick up your shit. Got to pick up your shit. I remember when I was young, and there was one time I was super hungover and I didn't pick up. I walked my dog. I think I was a teenager. I was home from college. I think I was like first year, and I walked my dog, and the dog took a shit, and I just was too hungover to pick it up. And this person totally called me out, and I just kind of was like, I think I totally blew him off. And then went home and slept for 2 days. But I felt so bad about it. I really did. That I still can remember that. I've been burning some incense. The thing about incense is that you still got to like open up the window to like, it's not like like it's a little too strong sometimes. So you're like, oh yeah, I want to burn this incense. And then it's like, you feel like you're just like in a teepee somewhere, praying to the gods or something after a while. Um, so you got to air it out. So that's where I'm kind of in the middle of burning incense and then opening the window and then closing the window just in time to make the incense good but not bad. That's where I'm at. That the problems of of burning incense in an urban environment, but I do like it. It does bring, it's a lot of that is to bring you in the moment and bring you in the present. And I think that's a little bit of like cannabis, like burning cannabis, like just the smell, just the ritual, just hitting a joint kind of brings you back in the moment. Um, whereas the smell of incense can kind of do that, and it's a much more milder effect. But the mind is very powerful, and with really light suggestion. That's why I've been go back to like figuring out like what kind of media to consume and how much of it, and if I want to fuck with Spotify or not, or if I want to, even be on YouTube again. I mean, I want to be on YouTube. It's just figuring out, just how much to check it out. The thing about YouTube, if you just wander on there, that, it's just so fucking entertaining. These algorithms, they'll get you. Not in a bad way, but and they haven't been as appealing. Maybe one day the internet will wear off on everybody. You know, TV hasn't. TV, people still watch TV. Even with the internet, TV is so big that it's not as big as much anymore, especially with TikTok. But I have to say, I've been doing a lot more reels. You can check out me on my Instagram, which is Rob88 Cantrell, and I put up some reels. And reels is just pretty much stolen idea of TikTok, or just like a 30-second film piece of media that you could put any type of music or text under and personalize it. But now everybody's doing that. That as a comedian, it's like, where do I fit in with all that? Or how do I think with everything now is, how do I use it? How do I line it up? How do I not do too much of it or just enough? Is the debate I'm always dealing with in my head with just about everything. Even with spirituality, like if you go too deep, it's too much. You could do entertainment, gossip, sex, drugs. There is a point. And I think the dance is just like you want to get in and out and keep it moving. Smoke a little bit of weed. Do a little bit of comedy, do a little bit of spirituality, do a little bit of sports. Like and do a little bit of meat. Like I'm trying to think, like with this, I'm really into fish. Like I've always said, like one of the best meals I ever had was a tuna steak, when I caught the tuna right off the boat and we went right into a restaurant and filleted it, and they filleted it for us, and then I ate it. Like I love that. Like never, just not even get into the refrigerator. Like that was one of the best meals. I bet that put like 10 years on my life, eating that fish. Fish is so good for you, but it's hard to get good, and you got to be wary some, and then you can get overdone with it. But I haven't been going that hard with veggies. But now with so many different spices, and how I've made my avocado toast, I got like this crazy whole wheat toast. And then I chopped up like this loose kale that was in the refrigerator, but I chop it up really fine. And then I chopped up a red onion, a hunk of it, but I chopped that up really fine, the red onion. And then I put the kale and the red onion in a bowl and put pour olive oil in that and mix it up. Not a ton, but enough to get it dancing. Then I spread that on a toasted piece of crazy ass whole wheat bread. And then I chop up an avocado, and then I take a strip of smoked salmon, and then I go crack, crack, and then I crack pepper that, and that's it. I put a little bit of cilantro. I remember I chopped up, I had some cilantro. I haven't figured out cilantro. I've figured out cilantro with Mexican dishes, like, but you don't want to cook with it, or maybe if you do, make sure you chop it up really fine because the leaves burn and get brown and weird. But it chopped really fresh. That's when I've noticed it worked with soups or as like a garnish or like the last like little cha on top of a meal. The cilantro will really that flavor will wake you up. Oh man, I'm just pounding this chai latte way too fast. But we got plenty of agua, and I do have a leftover kombucha in the fridge. I was going to do yesterday's episode on kombucha, but something came up, but if you want to watch this, I have the video. You just see me firing up bowls, talking to you about Oat-milk Chai Latte and funky ass hardcore bands and stand-up gigs. Yeah, the one band, Turnstile, I've been listening to that album. But then I was like, am I listening to too much hard? Like, you need to find good heavy metal, but like really good, but then you got to make sure it's not satanic. And then you have to make sure it's not like white supremacist. You got to make sure it's like right in the middle. I just want that tone, that guitar. A lot of it, like even with meditation, like what I learned about the when you do that, you're really just like making a vibration on one sound, which is supposed to represent everything all at once happening. And it massages your brain, that brain wave. So I think a lot of like music, repetitive music, hip hop beats, there is like a way to massage your brain with using those sound waves. Sometimes it wakes up your brain. Sometimes it mellows your brain out. A lot of bass. How low can you go? Been trying to read a little bit more. I do. Working on that one book, but I'm also organizing my notebooks. I got so many notebooks and about 3 jokes in all of the notebooks. But no, 3 or 4. All you need is like 3 or 4 new good ideas to start off any type of project. So I feel confident in that sense. Even though the ideas are spread out all over the place. I just got to bring them together. And that's what helps you with doing the moment. You're kind of practicing all the time. And then it's like, I'm not going to talk about meditation too much. People end up falling asleep. I just can't wait to get out to Denver. And all the great legal dispensaries. There's a lot of great cannabis events. I saw Wiz Khalifa is going to be at the RFK Stadium. That sounded dope. Dude, that's where I saw the Tibetan Freedom Concert. That's where I saw Jerry Garcia, I saw the Grateful Dead at RFK. It's like the old football stadium. But they have been having cannabis gigs. Like they've been having go-go bands over there and like these swap meets too. When I used to come back, I know the neighborhood. It's down from where I grew up, and but they're having this great cannabis event. I looked at it. They're having comedy, but my live stream is much better and it's closer. Not that it's much better. It's more like, yeah, it's my gig. But I've been looking around at other gigs. um, it's kind of a holiday. It's definitely for stoners. It's a definitely, 420 is and it's a Wednesday. So I think it's going to be an extra good one. That's what I think. It's like such a low key day. When it's on a weekend, it's like almost, gets blown out by the weekend when it's like a special day. But when it's a Wednesday, everybody wants something to do on a Wednesday night. And now they're going to have, all these great, I mean, if you look at venues, like all the cool venues book a great band or kind of a cannabis themed or cannabis friendly artists at these nights. If you look around, not all of them, but definitely ones in probably legalized areas. I was talking to a buddy of mine about Oklahoma and how Oklahoma's like looking like Michigan now. It's like, because it's wide open legal. I don't know if I think it's recreational, but I guess it's going really well that there's like billboards everywhere on these highways. That's always a trip. Times are changing. But make sure you listen to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I mean, we're going to be out there. I just think when, kind of this, we got to knock on wood or pray to whoever you pray to get through this next level of the pandemic, the Omicrons and the little zappity zaps that are out there. But I do hope society will open up, stay out of World War III, and I can get out there and do some proper shows because it's about time. I will say every time I go out and do it, it's like, so it almost like it makes me alive more. I think I had some of this like health issues because I haven't been going out. My body was just used to going out and performing and pumping and now I got cholesterol because I wasn't performing. But now I'm going to perform more. I'm going to do a little bit more exercise. I'm going to eat leafy leaf. I'm going to drink oat milk lattes here and there. Sip some kombucha. And then I'm going to get a Chemex. I'm going to get a Chemex, and then we're going to do some Chemex episodes. We're going to do some exercise, some Chemex, and some graphic bong hits. And Chemex, I never did the Chemex. I understand the Chemex. It kind of looks like, like an office coffee maker, like just down to its bare essentials. It's literally is just like something that holds the coffee filter, the paper called coffee filter, so it could strain into a glass bowl. Like, I get it. Looks good. Looked a little bit, the thing was the French press was a little faster. I think I wasn't patient enough. But if you're a pure lover, you got to be patient. Got to be patient for the good love that's good for you. And I still think coffee's good for you. I just had to watch it. I think just combining it with like the just sitting, the not performing and running around as much, and then my pizza every Friday with the super pepperoni, and then the double espressos. I just had to slow down a tad to figure it out. But we're figuring it all out. Day by day, one step at a time. Yeah. Oh, Littlefield. That's the other thing. Is like these gigs. I got to book them up. June, July, and August, the summer. Like I'm banking on the summer on being kind of banging in Brooklyn. But I'm gonna have some shows and I'm gonna book some great guests, and I'm also gonna be able to perform. So once a month, I'll have a place to and I'll host. So just give me an excuse and a little bit more, because you get more times on trying to figure yourself out there. I'm still kind of like being not scared, but I'm like going to do old material. Got to get the crowd up and running. When I'm hosting, I'm kind of going up and down. I almost by doing it so much, by coming up and off and changing, you start to lose any type of like hesitation after a moment. And that's where you want to be, without hesitation. and kind of in the flow of just the nature of all the right decisions, even the wrong ones. I got a big Nalgene bottle of water I need to take down. I haven't taken down enough, but I have been wearing my mouth guard at night so I don't grind my teeth, but off and on. Like I was consistently off, but now I'm off and on. So I got to give myself a pat on the back about that. But it's just been nice to think that things are going to open up a little bit more, and society's just changing every moment. I don't want to talk about the obvious pop culture thing that happened in my industry, because it's just overbearing, and then there's all this other shit that's going on, and it's I always like cats that just didn't really, I don't know, just got into the day-to-day gossip. I didn't want to have a podcast about gossip. I mean, a little bit of gossip is nice, but when it's just me just talking shit, then I need to just like talk about plants, talk about coffee, talk about my diet, my different stretches, the different tunes I'm rocking. Definitely rocking some Grateful Dead, definitely rocking some Turnstile, some hardcore. Let's see, and then definitely some hip hop. Not like not a well, some Jay-Z. There's a Jay-Z, Money Cash Hose is the song, but it's with DMX, and the title's awful, but it's like an early awesome beat, and just to hear those guys both on the same track is just amazing. I shouldn't say, it's just, it's just a gangster rap song, but it's like a really good one. But I've been reflecting on all types of like music, and I think music is getting easier to make. So everybody check out, I mean, I even have an album. You guys can all check it out there. It's not, I know today's like Bandcamp day or something, but I have an album, and I like people to check it out on iTunes and buy it on iTunes if you can. There's a link of it. It's called Caffeinated Dope Rhymes, and it's 7 tracks of music, and I own all the rights. I own the masters, as they say. So I got the masters. Play it, buy it. It all come back to me. Great tunes on there. Coffee and Weed coming up. Download it so you can jam it out at your party. Coffee and Weed at 420 on 420. That would get the barbecue jumping. It's a good jam. It's with me and Arch Barker. But I listened back to it, and it's well produced. It sits in the track. All the rhymes work. I'm proud of. I shouldn't say. I'm trying to let go of pride and just try to do the work and just like keep it moving, keep it grooving, and that's what I want to do with this. Like, I love making the beats for this podcast, and I almost bought a new beat machine. I have it all eyed up. I don't want to give it out because other people might buy it, but I've been digging on that and just like creating vibes and creating textures and tones. And I will say that I do think the sound on this quality on this podcast, the sound on this one, I think should be pretty good. I love working off of this station. I just need to get I'm just using the camera from the laptop, but I had another one, but it wasn't linking up with my laptop. So yeah, I just gotta maybe get my camera game. I'm thinking about investing in a GoPro because I love the fisheye lens and the wide lens of the GoPro. But I used one on my phone, but it's not perfect. But I do like it. You can tell it's not the app. Like I see the fisheye lens being used in the app, and yeah, I just don't think it works as well as having like some real glass, as they say. Same thing with weed. Like I do like wooden pipes, but they clog up, and I had that one metal one hitter, but it was good for like maybe a week. But at the end of the day, I was like, this is just burning aluminum. And glass is just so clean, so you just hit the leaf just so perfect. And if you ground it perfect, then it's just like the best cleanest hit you can have. But I've had a blast talking to you guys. Remember, if you want to see the video of this, we're going to do more shows in the future. I'm still not, I mean, I'm doing a live stream stand-up show, Dynamo Kingdom, on 420, but I may record another Cannabis Coffee Hour there, maybe before the gig. I want to make sure that the producers are all cool with it. But maybe after my set, that's when I really will feel, I don't know, before I perform, I really like to get in, be alone and chill, or just kind of vibe out, because I know I have to give out so much energy on stage, as I do, telling jokes about horses and cats and fruit takes a lot of just like oomph. But I know you guys got a lot of oomph for listening to this podcast and hanging out and smoking a couple bowls and drinking a chai oat-milk latte and staring at the sun. Well, I'm not staring at the sun, I'm staring at the plant, the sun hitting this plant. You know, the vibe is just like, wow, that's pretty warm. All right, take it easy. Peace, one love. Thanks for listening to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I'm out.